This video is brought to you by Cracks Only. Check out the link in the video description below to get to their website and check out their latest products. Trust me, you do not want to miss them. Round two, what's going on, people? Welcome to United View again. Welcome to the Transfer View again for the second time this morning. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, what on earth happened? And you know what? Let me just move that actually. Let's just make sure we're all good. We don't want we don't need any more problems. KG hacked the system. He hacked the system, man. He was straight in there. He got his revenge. People in there saying karma's a bitch. People in there saying mute. It's not going to work. I get ya. But KG did a madness. KG did a madness. And I can't lie. He did do a madness. And you know what? He won. He won. KG won. Like, you can't. You can't. He hacked Owen's system. He got in there. And he made it work. Let me turn my mic up a little bit as well. There you go. He made it happen. He made it happen, man. KG said, you know what? Karma's a bitch. It was. Like Nathan says, was getting into that. I was just starting to talk about Carington. Do you know what I mean? That's all I was doing. Start talking about Carington. But listen, it happens. It happens. The volume is back. I am back. People saying the mic's still a little bit low. I can crack it up a little bit, crank it up. But yeah, just as Owen was bang on cue of saying what he was saying, he literally came out and said, "No, it's not happening. I'm shutting this down." KG said, "This is not happening." And you know that he has so much issues with his internet. Owen just got absolutely massive. Virgin Media, whoever's on the other line of that, I would not want to be there. But we have a show to do. A little bit shorter now, but we have a show to do. Smash a like on the video. Smash a like, right, for Flecknology still being here. Do you know what I'm saying? Flecknology is still right here. I'm here running the stream. Because Flecknology can cope with that. Do you know what I'm saying? Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. The video is brought to you by Cracks Only, as you saw at the beginning. I've got my Cracks Only on right now for all of your latest gear. Link in the video description below. All of your football stuff, all of your soccer stuff, your grip socks, your undergarments, your tape, all of that stuff, and just casual if you're into your sportswear, your streetwear, tracksuits, hoodies, short sets, backpacks, everything, gilets, vests, you name it, they've got it. So and accessories, beanie hats, baseball caps, loads. They've got it all. So yes, big up to the guys over at Cracksoli and Alfredo. Big up to Aminos says KG's revenge. Karma is a bitch. Owen Flex, hold that L. It is a bit of karma. You know what? It is. There's no other way of dressing it up, and KG is the real winner. But like we were saying, there is a show to do. And where was I? I was at the bit about Carington. That's where I was at. I was at the bit about Carington because I was saying that as a fan, right? Let me move this. When you go there as a fan, you're gassed. Yeah? You're gassed. You're like, it's Man United. Look at the facilities. The pitch. You know, look how finely cut the grass is, and you know the buildings, and you just get gassed because it is Man United. It's your team, and then on top of that, you get gassed because of the people that you see around Carington, especially when you go to the first team side. So when you go in, it's like split into two. So the left hand side is the academy, and I believe the women's side now, and the right hand side is the first team side, and the Jimmy Murphy centre's there, and when you go to the right and sort of walk down that drive, you sort of like, there's Varane. He's just driving in his Rolls Royce. there's Sancho at the time. He's just driving in his Euros. Oh, look, there's Rashi. Oh, look. So as the fan in you, you're like, rah, like I'm actually here. Like this is sick. But as it goes on, which is more to what we was talking about with what Sir Jim Ratcliffe chose to not talk about, you do realise that it's old. And then you also go, if you like KG when he came back from the Real Madrid setup, the Real Madrid training ground, he went, yeah, flex. There's big clubs and then there's big clubs. It's different. I haven't been to City's training ground, but I can imagine it will make me feel sick with what they've got going on there. Um, and you know, whether it's Arsenal's training ground at London Colney or Chelsea's at Cobham, etc., etc. Obviously, Spurs, I think, would have had a lot of money put into theirs. Obviously, when they got their new stadium, I'm assuming if there's any Spurs fans in chat, let me know. Um, but you realise it's not. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out how far we are behind, you know, the leaders in this field for a club of our size. So hearing that, you know, they want to splash the cash and they're looking at golf clubs and they're looking at things that they want to do, it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise at all. I mean, if I go go find what they were saying. Well, actually, United Districts have done a big story on it as well, but I want to get the actual Mike Keegan quotes. There you go. He said an option is to build a new facility and keep Carington and former base the Cliff, spreading the training operation across various sites. United's women's side and academy could, for example, remain at Carington, which would, you know, the space that's still left at Carington, if you upgrade it for the women's and the kids teams, the youth teams, would be perfect. To be fair, that would absolutely work. And then you take, you know, the first team operations and put it on a huge big site as well. United's women's side and academy could, for example, remain at Carington with the men's located at a new facility. The preference, however, is to host everyone on one site should a location be big enough be found. So they don't really want to split everything up. And I suppose, you know what, like I said, it could work, but logistically it is obviously more of a nightmare and more resource and stuff that needs to go into it. But also, you can't. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I do want it all on one site. I do want it all on one site because there's something about young academy players when they're coming through. They need to be able to look across the parking lot, or they need to be able to go into the canteen and see the superstars, which hopefully we have by then, and look at them and say, I aspire to be that. They need to be able to, you know, meet up with a Raphael Varane in the passing in the corridor and get a little bit of advice or stuff like that. They need to all be one. And the same for the women's team as well. The women's need to feel like they're part of world-class facilities. They need to feel like they're playing for a club like Manchester United. You know, Manchester United needs to make its women's team, you know, the biggest women's team in the world. That's what we should be aspiring to have. From our academy, should be best in class. Women's team should be best in class. The best coaches, the best facilities, the best women's players, the best budget in the WSL. That's what Man United should aspire to have. And of course, it goes the same with the men's. So you do kind of want it to be all in one. Couple of super chats as well. Keegan says, teams with lesser facilities have outplayed us. The facilities are just another exude in the list of excuses. These players need a kick up the arse. Keegan saying, look, I don't give a shit, mate. They can train down the dog and duck, but the players are crap. Teams with worse facilities are outplaying us. And I get that, but it does start where Manchester United does need to have that, though. It should have that. I'm not gonna like come away from that. Man United should have a sick training ground, top thing, state of the art. You know what I mean? Have every single piece of technology in there that is available to football, because that's what it should have. But you're right, Keegan. Essentially, you know, you can't just blame that on excuses because teams with, you know, way less training facilities than us are outperforming us. So you're right. Produced by Palmeiras says, currently waiting at Luton Airport for my flight to Egypt. Big up Luton Airport. Big you up. Big up to the UV community. We need HR for Kiji. Big up Palmeiras. Wishing you a safe flight and a safe trip to Egypt as well. And your package will make sure that gets to you for when you get back. And yeah, we need HR for KG. Well, no. Actually, look, he's got his karma. He's got what he wanted. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to see that. We don't need no HR for him. We are just under 100 likes, 700 people watching. Well, do you know what? Can I big you guys up on that actually? Because we had to start this stream again in a different way, Flecknology settings. And you're all still here, plus more of you. We're on our way to 1,000 people watching live, which would be good as well. So big up to you for just following the stream across, because, you know, Gremlins get in the system, /KG gets in the system and hacks it, gets his karma. You lot could have all pissed off and said, can't bother with that. But thanks for staying. We really, really appreciate that. So hit a like for that. So Jim wants to splash the clash. And we know this because of, like, you know, some of the things he's been saying, we know that, like I said, the 1.2 something billion, 1.3 billion that he's used to buy the club is his own money. It's his own money, and he's stressing, and INEOS are stressing, and of course, look, could just be bullshit. We want to see action, but they're stressing that, it's about the club being successful. It's about, you know, winning things and restoring the club back to its former glory. It's not about making money. This is not a money making venture, and I don't mind that. I want to hear those messages, and it does feel weird to have co-owners, because we forget that he is a co-owner. He is a minority shareholder, but it is weird to see someone so present. That's going to take getting used to. Yes, of course, if we keep losing everything shit, we'll be like, well, it don't matter if the Jim's there or not, just fix it, do this, that, and the other. But at the beginning, I do agree that the early signs are encouraging. And this is coming from someone where, look, my thoughts on when Sir Jim was emerging as a rival to Sheikh Jassim, and obviously after he got confirmed, we had to switch our attention quickly. But my thoughts were that I didn't want INEOS to take over Man United. I didn't want Sir Jim Ratcliffe to take over Man United. I didn't trust what they were going to do, and I haven't necessarily completely changed that right now, because I would be a fool to do that. We need to see action. The same way, if even Qatar got in, we'd have to wait and see. But we are where we are. But I think I do think the early signs are, I would say they're welcoming. I welcome the owner being at the games. I want to see that. I want to see a visible presence. I want to see visible intent. I welcome him, holding informal press conferences and going to talk to Must. Although a lot of people, have their opinions on Must and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into that. But the fact that Sir Jim wants to speak to them, it is good. Do you know what I'm saying? The fact that he wants to be so vocal when he, the thing hasn't even been ratified yet is good. But like Simon McGill says there, apprehensive settings. Apprehensive is the perfect word. Pyramid says no. Sir Jim Ratcliffe's waffling. Successful clubs make money. What the F are we talking about? See, again, I think that's hard. I think, look, we know successful clubs make money, but again, I think they're just playing the right. I just think they're just playing this at the right tone. To be honest with you, Pyramid Scheme, like I really do. Like, of course they want to make money, and look, when a businessman says that, nobody parts with 1.2 something billion pounds and just wants to chuck it down the bin and doesn't want to see a return on that investment. No businessman or businesswoman or consortium of people would do that. Facts, absolutely facts. And all football clubs need to make money. If Man United stopped making money, it would be a huge problem. We wouldn't be able to be successful. So, of course, he doesn't mean that. I think he just means the sole focus where it has been, i.e. the Glazers, which is kind of chucking them under the bus, really, without saying it. He's saying that the primary focus is not just making money. If we make our primary focus to win, our primary focus to be the best football team it can be, to be the best institution it can be, then in turn it will make money. Do you know what I mean? And this is what I said about the Roman Abramovich tenure. Like, the reason why it was so successful is because he was so infatuated with making Chelsea the best and putting his own money into it so that he could probably have a big ego or boast, or because he just wanted his team to do well, that the money came. They ended up making huge amounts of money because they won everything. And he put money in and used his own money to get it going. So that, Palmeiras was like, yeah, I swear our fan base just find anything negative. And that's what I mean, Pyramid Scheme. I do think that is a bit negative, because it's like the social media thing. Like, when we say one thing, people think that you're completely discounting the other thing. So if I say, I don't know, say I said, not that he is, but Garnacho's having a tough time on the right-hand side, I think he needs a rest. Oh, so you're saying that Anthony's better than him? Anthony's a disgrace. He cost £80 million. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying Garnacho's having a bit of an issue. He's played 4 or 5 games and he's struggling. Do you know what I mean? And that's what happens when sometimes people say things. So for Sir Jim saying, it's not about money. It's not about money. It's about trophies. So you don't want us to make any money. You want Man United to go broke. So you don't want us to sell any shirts. You don't want us to be attractive to commercial sponsors. You want Adidas to take our deal, and you don't want us to make money. Well, no, of course he's not saying that. Of course he's not saying that. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think about that. Minna did say as well in the chat, I wonder if we'll see him at the women's games as well. Yeah, exactly. Obviously, he's taking his time going around all the different things he needs to do. between the women's and the under 18s as well. It'd be good to see him present at that. But again, it isn't. Those aren't the things that are going to just fix Man United. But these are things that at the start, I think mean something. I really, really do. I think they mean something. So, um, I like it. I like the early signs, but we still don't know yet. There's still so much more to come. We need to get to a transfer window, work out, in terms of splashing this cash and all these big plans for Carington, or to redo Carington, or to move from Carington, should I say. What happens in the summer? How do we sell players? What sort of money is going to be available for us to spend on players? How do we handle the contract situations? Do Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sir Dave Brailsford and Jean-Claude Blanc and all the people involved in this, do they start putting their foot down with the football operations and start, really coming down heavy on some of the things that have been happening? Because when we start seeing those things, that's when we're gonna start saying, okay, there's change here, and we need to give it time. We can't, already we're into the January transfer window and we can see we're extremely limited. I don't think anybody in their right mind, or if you did, I don't think you should have. You should have seen it coming. Thought we'd be like super active in January. We don't have the funds to do it. We know why. No point going all over it again because it's a whole nother show. But we know that where we're at. And also we know that, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's situation with the Premier League hasn't even been fully done yet. Essentially hasn't even been sworn in, as they say. Wizard says, what Sir Jim Ratcliffe is doing is what the Glazers have always wanted someone to do, literally. And when you say that, Wizard, do you mean that in a negative thing, in terms of someone come in, front it up, take the blame, be front of house so they don't have to? I'm guessing that's what you're saying. And you know what? If you are saying that, Wizard, come back through with another comment, bro. If you are saying that, there probably is an element of truth to that. The Glazers don't want to be front of house, go into every game. The Glazers didn't want to put their own money in to take Man United to the next level, so they had to auction off a little bit of it. So you're right. You're not wrong on that, to be fair, Wizard. Even if you did, human shield settings, LOL. Says Splashnet. 100% it's true. Because we said that, didn't we? When Sir Jim Ratcliffe got announced as the preferred bidder and we knew it was going to be him, we did say the Glazers have played a blinder. The Glazers have played a blinder. What they managed to do was bleed Man United dry. Yeah, literally suck every last penny out of it. Then when it got to a point where, FFP's an issue, stadium needs investment, Carington needs investment or moving, playing squad needs to be ripped up and better decisions made, and there's too much players on the books, money, transfer budget needs upping, they went, we're not doing that. If the Glazers were good owners, which again, we know this, I'm just stating it because of what Wizard said, it's true. If the Glazers were good owners, they would have got to this point, well, they would have never have got to this point, actually. But if they had any intention of being good owners from here on out, they would just pump the money in and make the necessary changes. But what they've done is sold a little bit of it while they remain in power, and give away the sporting control, so that if it goes to shit, you can say, weren't me, mate, it was him. It was him over there. Weren't me, it was him. Do you know what I mean? You could literally say that. So they have absolutely played a blinder. I'm under no illusions that they have done that. But I will be honest, we do still need to see what this situation looks like with Sir Jim. We do still need to see what that looks like, because I don't know, he is going to change stuff, and he's going to change the stuff that we want to see changed. Do you know what I mean? Cedric says the Qatari dream was just that, a dream, no substance, just smoke. Well, I think there was a bit of substance. They definitely wanted to buy us. But yeah, I think in terms of the Glazers accepting it, you could probably say that, Cedric. They're probably never going to do it. Everyone's laughing at Minna. What did Minna just say? Who did she cuss? What's she done? Minna's just trolling in the chat. Where is she? I don't even know what she said, but everyone's laughing. Minna's just doing a madness. Risky attempt for likes. What have you done, Minna? I don't know what Minna's done. Someone let me know what she's done. Run up the likes or I'm oh my god. Minna says, run up the likes, otherwise I'm quitting UV. Disgrace, disgrace, disgrace. Minna's spoken. Queen Minna's spoken. Don't let her, don't go anywhere. don't let her quit the channel, please. Like up the thing. That is a genuine threat from Minna. Yeah. Now I see why you guys are laughing. Um, Wizard says the Glazers only wanted someone to run the football side, someone they can trust in, but they have collateral if they get it wrong. That's why Woodward and Murto are not needed. Yeah, and obviously they failed as well. They failed, and they're just passing it on to somebody else. So you're right with that, Wizard. Aminor says hit the likes up, people, as well. Let's get the likes up. Where are we at with the likes, actually? 186, nearly at 200, just over 1,000 people watching. We can push, we can keep pushing. I like that. I like that we're over 1,000 people watching as well, which is good considering we had to restart the stream again, and it is going to be shorter than the first. It is still good to see. Just on my timeline, just here. Best of luck today to Sofra and Amrabat, taking on Tanzania in AFCON in the group stages today. So Morocco actually going to be. I forgot about that. I mean, Owen was going with. Who was he going with? Was it Egypt? Who did he say he thinks would win it? Senegal, I think he said. But forget about Morocco. Obviously, getting to a World Cup semi-final, still got that group together. They were playing with some serious passion. I was a big Morocco fan throughout that World Cup. I was at all their games and loved Amrabat, as you know. Advocate for him to come Man United. Hasn't quite worked out. Probably won't quite work out. But for Morocco, he's an absolute beast. I'm actually going to try and watch some of those games if I'm not busy. I want to see that. I want to see them in action. And you could just imagine, innit? Amrabat just mashing it up in at AFCON, and then just doing a madness, just doing an absolute madness, and everyone's saying, "See, that's the guy. This is the guy we bought or we loaned. Like, play him. This is the guy. Why don't we see this?" Daniel Luciano says, "Yes, Flex is going to fall in love with Amrabat again. Probably, exactly." Nem Green says, "Flex, you didn't answer my question yesterday. I'm sorry. What did you ask, bro? What did you ask? Don't put another super chat, by the way. Just let me know in the comments. I'm looking. I can see. What question did you ask, bro? I want to know. I want to be able to answer that, as long as it's nothing bad. Flex, Eric Ten Hag has one more year in his contract. Either we extend or sack him, right? Good point. I mean, right now you wouldn't be in a rush to give Eric Ten Hag a new deal, would you? Remember when he did well last season halfway through? And that's a really good point. Who you want if Ten Hag left, Nen Green? Okay, I got you, bro. I'm just gonna talk about what someone just said there, and I'll get to that, Nem Green. Who would I want if Eric Ten Hag left? Because I'm still a bit undecided on that, to be honest. But yeah, cool. I'll get back to that in a sec. Someone just said there. What was that? Let me go back a little bit. Oh yeah, he has 1 year left on his contract. Either we extend or sack in the summer, right? Let me just double check that. I think he does, because we didn't actually give him a new deal. Contract expiry. There, runs until 2025. So remember when we were doing well in the Carabao Cup, right? And we won that, and then we knew we was in the FA Cup final, etc., etc., right? When we was going through that, there was like reports, weren't there, saying that, you know, there's talks of Ten Hag getting a new deal, and, you know, this, that, and the other. And then there was also talks of Leacher getting a new deal as well. And I just remember going, but why though? Why? Like, what, like, don't do the typical Man United thing. You know, he has the potential, to an extra year. I can see that there as well. Sanction negotiation to begin regarding the potential 2-year extension. Yeah, because this was the actual thing from goal, and this is actually one of this was in, when was this a thing? Let me go back. That was in, August last year. So in the summer last year, it was like Man United, you know, some of the rumours, they didn't do it, but Man United planned to offer him a 2-year extension despite takeover uncertainty. So at the time, you know, despite the turmoil in the boardroom, Man United will offer Ten Hag a new contract before the turn of the year, regardless of who owns the clubs, which didn't happen, but the Daily Mirror, I think, was saying it. The Star was saying it. That was what was going around. And at the time, I was like, no, why would you do that? It doesn't make sense. It completely doesn't make sense to do that. Because look where we are now. You, depending on who you ask, I mean, some of you, I don't want to speak for all of you. Some of you might say, you know what, I wouldn't mind giving Ten Hag a new deal. I would give Ten Hag a new deal. Maybe some of you would say that. I personally wouldn't. I couldn't think of anything more silly to do right now than give Ten Hag a new deal. And that's not because I want him out. It's because we need to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Joe Blackman, it is your birthday, I see. Let me see that. Where's Joe Blackman? It says Flex is taking the piss. I don't know why. Is it because I didn't say happy birthday? But a lot of people are saying happy birthday, Joe Blackman. So big up to you, Joe Blackman. Always here supporting the channel. One of the top mods. Thank you, Flex. Don't be deep. It's Joe's 50th. Wish him happy birthday. Bloody hell, Manish. I didn't know, and now I know. Happy 50th. Is it actually your 50th? Or is Manish just being bad mind and making it up? Manish says, Flex, don't be deep. It's Joe's 50th. Wish him happy birthday. I didn't see Joe. You know, if I would have seen that, I would have been straight there saying happy birthday, bro. 50. He says, allow it. I ain't 50. Yeah, he ain't 50. But yeah, big him up, man. Lots of love. Lots of blessings your way. Another year, health, wealth, and strength, and all them things there. And big up for being a big part of the community, because you're a big voice in there. But 50, nah, you can't be doing that. Yeah, Minna is co-hosting from the chat. She can do that. That's a great spot. But yeah, big up Joe Blackman on your birthday, man. Big love to you. And on that, actually, smash a like. Smash a like for Joe Blackman's birthday as well. We're at 233 now. We can get to 300. I know we can. I know we can do it. But happy birthday to you, Joe. Joe saying 39th, probably. You lot are just guessing mad ages. You have no idea. You're just completely guessing. But yeah, back to Ten Hag. No, we shouldn't be giving him a new contract now. That just shouldn't happen. Back to that question. And Nem Green was saying, who do I want? I haven't really fully decided that. I would take Unai Emery. I really would. The Xavi Alonso thing, I think he's still got to let that marinate. Still got to let that cook. And with his Liverpool ties, I don't think football changes. Man United's a big club, but I don't know. I think that'll be a bit off-putting. Can I be honest? The Zidane thing I've actually never bought into. I have never bought into the Zidane thing. I know he's done well at Real Madrid, more than well. You know what I'm saying, with all them Champions Leagues and that. But nah, he doesn't speak English as well. I just don't think it would be the right fit. I've never bought into the Zidane thing. A lot of people say De Zerbi. I think the Potter thing scares me. You know, doing well at Brighton and then thinking that manager should be propelled into the top jobs. And you saw how he failed. And I know Chelsea's a bit of a mess, but Man United's not exactly stable, is it? I don't know if it's De Zerbi hype. I'm not sure about that. Nagelsmann, no, not for me. It could be a situation, right? If it's not Eric anytime soon. It could be a situation like what Spurs did with Angelo. You know, like that guy who's like done a decent job at not the top level, maybe not even in this league, and it's a bit of a risk. It's a huge risk where you're like, But again, to do that at Spurs, and I do mean this with disrespect, they're not a big club. They're not a massive football club, so it's different for Ange to go there and just give them a little bit of hope for playing exciting football. And then, you know, people like Abby can say, I'd even sit on the M1 if he told me to. That ain't going to happen at Man United. We got a lot higher standards than them. We got a lot richer history than them. We got a lot bigger aspirations than them. Well, they've probably got the same aspirations now because they want to get to the top. But we're different. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like those types of managers coming to Man United is different. Abby's going to come after you. She always does that anyway. It's no different to that. So yeah, I don't really know who the next manager should be. But if it's not going to be Erik ten Hag, then the right work needs to be done. Do you know what I'm saying? It does need to be done. Right, guys. The show was always going to finish a little bit earlier today. In general, if we would have carried on without a little bit in between. So we've got to wrap it up there. Smash a like on the video. We got to nearly pretty much 1,100, which I'm over the moon with considering what happened. Big up to Minna in the chat, who was basically helping me co-host. Big up to Owen, who's probably going mad at Virgin Media right now. We got, like I said, a lot of videos coming for you this week. Keep tuned, keep locked in. We know we're also playing Newport as well in the FA Cup. That'll be fun. Playing against them. Welsh, I think. So yeah, I'll see you on the other side, guys. What else have we got coming up? There's, like I said, the United District situation. Big up United District. You're going to see something real soon. Anyway, I'm out of here. Take care. Peace.